everybody. Greetings, salutations on a Feel Good Friday. It is time for the local guys to come on in, have some fun, and get you ready for the weekend in sports. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff, Tara Atkin, waking up with us. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, locking us in. And yesterday, a lot of fun, guys. I had a lot of fun, guys and gals. Me and Caden hosted the 4A baseball bracket reveal show. I don't know. They maybe DJ had some vacation or something. I don't know. DJ's been doing that, David James, and they called us up and said, "Hey, can you guys gap fill for this?" And we said, "Sure." Had a blast. Did it here in the studios at Canyon Media, the parent company here of the Fan Sports Network, and the brackets are now out. If you missed the reveal show, we are slotted in for the regionals this weekend. We've got 8 teams that get a bye that'll be straight to next week's Super Regionals. And then, of course, we've been telling you, if you've been following our show or our coverage, we're going to be up at bracket play. Paulie, Tara, and I, Kate, and the whole crew going to be up there the whole week of the 11th through the 16th at Gates Field at Kearns High School. And we are going to be bringing you all of the coverage from the 4A State Baseball Championships and the Elite 8 bracket play, if you will. So we're super excited. We got a bunch of games today. We have 5 Region 9 teams in action today after the brackets were released yesterday morning. And let's start with this, Paul. The Snow Canyon Warriors, to nobody's surprise, the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, I mean, what a season they had. Over 20 wins, great non-region play. They dominated Region 9. They got a bunch of guys hitting over 400. Just kind of the perfect storm of things for Coach Sechrist this year. A great year for Snow Canyon and well-deserving of the 1 seed.
They are the favorite.
Yep.
I think they are the favorite when you have the bullseye, the 1 seed. But don't tell Crimson that. Crimson, I think, Desert Hills gets the 2 seed. We speculated yesterday that they might slip to 3 because they were on a bye week, and Timpanogos did beat Orem in their final game of the season 6-2. So we thought maybe that would leapfrog Timp back up to 2, and D Hills would drop 3. Regardless, the Thunder stayed there probably by a really slim margin. Crimson was the one with that walk-off home run, Paul, the other night that fell from 5 before the RPI was pulled down. 1 loss, and they dropped 2 spots to number 7.
Yeah, that's a big fall. Tough fall, but, it's a senior night. They had the energy going on the Pineview dugout all night long, and they hit that walk-off, and it's a loss, so it's going to move you down. And I didn't know it would move them that far, but to the 7 seed they are, so a more difficult path for the Mustangs.
Is it a blessing in disguise, though, that they're on the opposite side of the bracket of Snow Canyon?
You're still going to see a Desert Hills team that's really good if you advance. So I've always said you got to beat the best teams to win a championship. You may dodge one along the way with an upset or something like that, but realistically, if they keep advancing, they're going to have to play Snow Canyon.
I just think if I'm Justin Abbott, and I haven't talked to Coach since the brackets came out, I would think, I don't care that I dropped. You slot me in wherever. We are the defending state champs. We feel like we can beat anybody. Put me on the other side of the bracket of Snow Canyon. So the collision course is there for a potential rematch. That's kind of, you got to remember, Coach Reed Sechrist was the one that gave Justin Abbott his first assistant coaching job back in the early 2000s, right when he was coming out of his pitching career in professional baseball. And they have a great relationship, but when they're on the field, they both want to win, and that's the rematch of the state championship from last year. What are the odds we get? And I know, there's 24 teams that have something to say about this. Realistically, though, I've always said there's only 8 teams that can win a state championship, right? I mean, you can talk about a good 12 or 13 seed, and somebody could pop. There could be an upset. But realistically, only 8 teams get to bracket play. That's the teams that can win a state championship. Once you get to bracket play at Kearns, where it's a true double elimination tournament, if you have the pitching and you get hot, people are like, wow, what's a dark horse? I'm like, I don't know who the dark horse is. Realistically, I think there's 5 teams that can win it if you wanted to trim it down even further. But honestly, it's going to be fun, and Region 9 is going to be right in the middle of that. So Snow Canyon, the 1 seed, Desert Hills, the 3 seed, and then you have Crimson, the 7 seed. They don't play this weekend. They all top 8 seeds in the 4A class get buys, so they will be straight to next Thursday. that is the rest versus rust story a little bit, too, for those teams, because they won't play a game for 9 days, Paulie.
Yeah.
That could be good or that could be bad, depending on your team, your roster, and how you want to tackle that layoff.
That's right. Rust plays in when you don't play games for 9 days, but at the same time, back to the seedings, we saw Hurricane was the lowest seeded team in Region 9 in the basketball tournament of Dixie, Pineview, Crimson Cliffs, all seated ahead of them. And who went the furthest?
The Hurricane Tigers and Brigham Kemp all the way to the state championship game.
So realistically, I don't know that seeding matter. And Crimson was a low seed in the state tournament last year. So like as far as their path, seeding it causes tougher matchups for you earlier on. But if you're the team of destiny, if you're a team that's going to go to the distance, then it doesn't really matter who you play. You got to beat the best to be the best, realistically.
I love it. I love it. I think you're spot on. Good call on Crimson last year. I mean, like I said, you get to bracket play. You throw the seeds out the window. You're in the top 8. Anything
that's right.
can happen. Hurricane one of the storylines going into the 4A state baseball tournament was Hurricane, would they get a home regional this weekend or would they have to travel? They lose 2 games to Dixie, a home and home, both close games, but lost them both. And they did fall 1 spot, which means they have to go clear up to Mountain View. And then if you go up to Mountain View and win, you go to Snow Canyon next weekend. So you got to travel this weekend, but you wouldn't have to next weekend. And that would be the only second round region potential matchup that we have. That Hurricane Snow Canyon potential game. But Hurricane would have to go on the road and beat Mountain View. They're probably heading up here relatively soon. Then you go to the other matchups. Dixie plays Murray. Dixie ends up the 9 seed. We will have this game on the live stream tonight. I'll be over at Don Lay Flyer Field for that one. Dixie hosting Murray, the Spartans. And then, Paulie, you and Caden are going to be over at Pineview tonight. Pineview ended up the 11 seed, and they are going to take on East High School at Pineview tonight. And the Dixie and Pineview game, the default time is 4 o'clock, but both schools got together. They got to travel all the way down. That gives them a little bit more time to travel down today. They have moved those games to 7 o'clock tonight. So we will. I was kind of hoping one would stay 4 and one would 7, so we could have a simulcast of both. We'll have to split. We'll have to split up both at 7 o'clock. We'll give you kind of some bounce around coverage of on the radio side, and then the complete stream on Dixie and Pineview on the video side tonight. The other team is Cedar, and they draw Park City at home this weekend, and the Reds are the 13 seed. Reds are kind of sneaky. I don't feel like there's a lot of hype around them because since early in the season when they started so red hot, they had a little front-loaded, easier schedule, and then it got harder on the back end.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, once they played some of the other teams in the region, it kind of leveled off, and they ended up, right there around 500 in region play. I think they ended up 4th place behind Snow Canyon. Then it was Crimson, Desert Hills, and then Cedar there in that tie for 4th. So, it didn't end up being the region championship run that it looked like at the start of the season, but this is a gritty, scrappy team, and I feel like Coach Larson really likes his guys, and they've kind of been the surprise story, if you will, even with the second half of region play where wins were tough to come by. Yeah. I expect them to really probably lay it to Park City this weekend. And then move on. They would get Ridgeline, and that's an interesting potential matchup in the second round for the Reds. I don't see much of a threat in all the way to bracket play for D Hills, Crimson, or Snow Canyon. I just don't. Hurricane will, if they can win, that would be a very intriguing matchup. We'll probably get to cover some of those games. H-Town versus SC, that would be fun, but nobody's going to be picking the 17 seed Tigers except for their fans, and you are fans, so I would expect you to pick them. But everybody else will anticipate the 1 seed moving on. So we do really, where we've had some early Region 9 matchups.
Yeah.
which I hate because it's kind of like this Knights Mammoth thing we've been talking about. Like, I wish they would have matched up in the second round, not the first round. So somebody's going home right out of the gate in the NHL playoffs. Yeah. The same thing I've said in basketball brackets and football brackets. We've had these Region 9 reruns, I call them, where you just get right out of Region play and then you got a Region 9 rerun. We've seen, in some cases, playoff games where you just played that team 2 weeks ago in football and you got to turn around and play them again. Or same thing, you finish a region schedule and it so happens to be this team and then you get in the first round of the playoffs. Sometimes that's unavoidable. But in baseball this year, we really don't have a lot of that. I really thought the draw was pretty favorable for all of our Region 9 teams.
Yeah.
So we're off and running. The brackets are out. You can go to Max Preps. You can go to uhsaa.org. We've got it up on our socials. We're going to be out at the yard tonight for playoff baseball presented by the Boulevard, making your house more like home for over 50 years. And 2 games, Murray at Dixie and East at Pineview, both at 7 p.m. All right, we're off and running. Lots to do on the show today. Mammoth Knights game 6 tonight. What's going on in Pittsburgh? We'll have some fun set pieces. Man, we'll get into maybe Paulie's draft lottery wish list for you Utah Jazz fans. This is about the time you actually have something to be excited about. Yeah. Finally, the month of the draft lottery is here as we turn the page. Welcome to May, everybody.
Yes, May is here.
April showers. Bring the Mayflowers for Mother's Day, the 10th. Tara's got that one marked on her calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Right, TA?
Yep, I do.
That'll be a week from Sunday, right? So lots going on in the month of May, including a lot of high school state championships between all of the 10 spring sports. All right, we're off and running. Don't touch that dial. Got a great show on tap for you today. Keep us locked in. Hey, everybody. Feel Good Friday. Good vibes here on the Fan Sports Network. Playoff Friday. We've got some playoff high school baseball. Also, Utah Tech welcoming in Tarleton State for a huge WAC showdown. Big WAC series between the two league leaders tonight at the Bruce for game 1 of 3. It's a 3-game set tonight, tomorrow, and then on Sunday. And so if you're looking to, it should be great weather to get down to the yard. We'll give you a little bit more in-depth preview of that huge WAC showdown a little bit later on in the show. Show today brought to you by our friends at Prime IV. They are gearing up to help you celebrate for mom. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. They've got the Beauty Bundle. Get the Beauty Bundle for mom. It comes with the Glow IV, high-dose glutathione, which is a beauty boost upgrade, zero-gravity massaging chairs. You could also have her add some injections. Go check it out. It promotes, healthy hair, skin, nails. Get that glow for the month of May for the woman you love. So get on over there to primevstg.com. I was in there a couple weeks ago and took my daughter in for a soccer tournament. And then I went over to Eden and did the scalp massage.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a scalp massage before?
Oh, it is the most amazing thing ever.
I had never had a scalp massage, and some of you might be going, Devin, you went and got a scalp. I 100% went and got a scalp massage, and it was the greatest thing ever. Like TA just said, she took the words right out of my mouth. So if you want to really spoil mom, you could get her that Glow Beauty Bundle, and then you could get her a scalp massage or a foot massage over at, it's right in the same location there, Prime IV on Riverside Drive. PrimeIVSTG.com. Start thinking about mom. We've got Would You Rather time here on The Drive. Let's get into it here as we'll kind of touch them all, so to speak. All right, Paulie's in charge today. Well, Paulie's always in charge. Well, who am I kidding? Paulie, what are we starting with?
We are going to start in the realm of new stadiums today, as the Browns' new stadium mocks were just put out. We got 3 new ones coming in the next couple years. Highmark Stadium, of course, the Bills' new multi-billion-dollar deal. The Browns' new stadium, which I'm still trying to find the name of. And
it's going to be Brook Park Stadium.
Brook Park Stadium. And then the new RFK, which is at the Washington Commanders Stadium.
That's probably the one you're jazzed up about.
I'm jazzed up. I think it meets the architecture of the area the best. They kind of try to do the column look of a lot of the buildings in D.C. Will it be as nice as the Browns one? I don't know. I'm seeing some videos here of some of the stuff, some of the social media content they're producing with the stadium. And this looks like maybe the nicest stadium I've ever seen, the Browns. So
the Haslam's going
and
spending some bankroll.
Going hard on this stadium for sure. And
$2.4 billion is the cost of the new Cleveland Stadium. I don't know what the Washington expected cost is.
I don't remember the expected cost of that either. So
I don't know how much they spent in Buffalo for that stadium. I'll have to look that up really quickly. But I'm sure, the going price for, a brand new stadium with 70,000 seats, give or take a few, is a lot of money.
Yes. I think that if I were to choose one, take out my fanhood, of course, I'm going to go with the Browns. Brook Park, or whatever you said it was, is the sponsorship title.
Yeah.
I think I like the Browns Stadium the best of the 3. Highmark is the true outdoor one.
It looks cool.
A lot of these teams going to indoors so they can host Super Bowls, events, stuff like that throughout the year. But the Bills stuck true to Buffalo's identity. They kept the outdoor. They've got a little retractable deal, but I love Buffalo as well. But if I were to just go to a game as a fan, I think the Browns Stadium has the most amenities. It's the most up to date. Everyone loved Allegiant and SoFi because they were the 2 that were ahead of everybody else in the league. But I'm here to tell you that there's some new stadiums coming across that are going to blow the minds of people. Allegiant is nice, but these are going to be a new frontier for stadiums.
Yeah, there's always new wrinkles. There's always new amenities. There's all new technology.
Yeah.
Everything's, the newer it is, the better it is, right?
Yes.
That's just how the world seems to trend. I still love going to Seattle to a game.
True outdoor feel.
Well, and something about the way that the sound reverbs through that stadium and keeps it it like almost it's a dome, even though it's an open air stadium, like you mentioned, in Buffalo.
Yes, but Buffalo going to be loud, I'm sure. Great amenities, but I'm going Browns in the Would You Rather, I think, because this was just released the other day, and it is incredible.
I still have not been to SoFi, believe it or not. And so I like Allegiant. I like the layout. I like how you can have a live concert at halftime inside the stadium. I mean, there's some cool things. Like as a music fan, that kind of is a nice selling point for me.
Yeah.
And so that's the only stadium that I've been in that's the newest stadium in the NFL. So I'm going to still go Allegiant just because I haven't been to these other stadiums.
All right.
But this one does look nice. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We might have to go road trip to Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. I've been there.
Will the Silver Surfer make it to Cleveland?
Yeah.
How many charging
But it might
stations
take
do we
a
have
while,
to stop
right?
at?
A bunch. A lot.
Will it be cheaper than diesel?
Oh yeah, it'll be cheaper. It's free charging, so it's free.
Oh.
It'll just take longer.
All right, where are we going next?
All right, let's go to this one. Much talked about 42-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers or their newly minted third-round pick out of Penn State, Drew Aller, as the comparison we got today for Would You Rather.
Man,
They just drafted him, so
I know.
they got some belief, but
and we haven't seen
coming off a horrific injury last year, Aller. So
and we haven't seen how healthy he is. We haven't seen how the road recovery, the workouts are going. I haven't seen a lot of videos regarding that, but they believe in him. Somebody, was it Ben Roethlisberger the other day that came out and said that he has more confidence in Will Howard?
yes,
moving forward.
Roethlisberger, the top article when you type in Drew Aller, headline: Ben Roethlisberger not sold on new Steelers QB Drew Aller.
Isn't that funny that other than Terry Bradshaw, the most beloved quarterback in Steelers history has probably been Roethlisberger.
Yes,
and now he's dogging their draft pick.
Quote unquote, this is one that I'm not sure if I love it or hate it. I don't watch a lot of Penn State games. When I watch, he never jumped off the page to me. Is he big? Can he move? Can he throw? Yes, but there was never a time I was like, whoa. And he jumped off the page to me. Will Howard jumped off the tape more than Drew did, was his quote. So the sixth-round pick out of Ohio State, national champion, of course, is Will Howard. But Drew Aller, his career,
Third round pick, 76th overall.
Big, prototypical guy, big arm,
6'5", 228,
tall quarterback. Yes, but I watched a lot of Penn State and. Before the season deteriorated and Franklin was fired and the whole thing happened there, Drew Aller was the starter. And there was that big buildup. I don't remember if you remember the whiteout, the Oregon game at home.
And they lost.
And they were highly ranked, like number 4 or 5. And if they beat Oregon, they're moving up into the top 3. And probably
and set the tone for the season.
Instead, they lose in overtime. Aller gets hurt. They start losing to UCLA, bad teams. Franklin gets fired, and the whole season just goes in a vacuum to disrepair. So at this point, is Drew Aller the guy you want leading your franchise? Is Drew Aller a guy you believe in? Because at this point, you're the Steelers. You're re-signing a 42-year-old guy over and over and over and not drafting high enough to get a top quarterback like Mendoza, like a Dante Moore or Arch Manning next year. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen to the Steelers this year. They're going to go 9-8, 8-9, and draft in the teens.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get a good quarterback with a pick like that.
Dante Moore is not walking through that door unless you trade the farm to get it up in the draft.
Or Arch Manning or whoever you believe in.
I mean, this was not the deepest quarterback draft. Let's all be honest. Best case scenario, Drew Aller, if he could have a career like Byron Leftwich or even as good as Joe Flacco, that seems like the upside, the high side here. But he is a raw quarterback. With some elite traits,
tools,
but it's a long-term project type feeling. It's like when the NBA, when you draft that project guy, he's a guy that's you're gonna have to coach him up and develop him. That's what I feel like's going on
but
here.
I guess the question is, would you rather be held hostage for another year, or would you rather just start the succession plan of playing Aller? Because whether he's 100% healthy right now, he will be by September.
Well, or is it Will Howard?
Exactly.
I mean,
I should have included Howard.
if Aaron Rodgers comes in for one more year, which he's kind of holding the Steelers hostage right now, and they thought that they'd have this scenario played out and it would be done, but typical Aaron Rodgers fashion, he's being a prima donna, and now you got the team taking a third-round draft pick because of the uncertainty, and you got to have somebody fight with Will Howard for the starting job.
That's right.
If Aaron Rodgers decides that married life with Brittany, I guess her name is more fun than going 8-9 this year in Pittsburgh.
9-8, yes.
Yeah. I'd rather move off of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, wow.
I am done. I would say Will Howard, Drew Aller, go compete. Whoever wins the job, let's roll. Rodgers, if you want to come hold a clipboard and develop them, we'll sign you to the league minimum. I'm done with Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
I just think that is a no-win scenario for Steeler fans here. He can't win you a Super Bowl at his age. He's not good enough. He's not mobile
neither
enough.
Can Drew Aller or Will Howard, though.
No, but at least you can try to find out if you have the quarterback for the future or not, because you keep prolonging that with the longer you gap fill. Yes. I mean, it's the same thing the Jets did. Aaron Rodgers set the Jets back 2 seasons.
Yeah, the injury, then the bad season.
And are the Steelers really going to follow the same footprints and let Aaron Rodgers set them back 2 seasons with Mike McCarthy as a first-year head coach? It kind of looks that way.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers are so proudful as an organization, they can't admit they're not very good. They're not very good.
Yeah.
I always think the Steelers are so good because they beat my Seahawks in the Seahawks' first ever Super Bowl with Matthew Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander back in 2005. And I always have, remembered, hey, who's won the most Super Bowls in the NFL? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're still curtain. They haven't done crap lately, Paulie.
That's right.
And Aaron Rodgers, maybe he can win you 10 games, but he ain't winning you a playoff game or a Super Bowl.
If you're the Jets, you're drafting in the top 5 every year. You're horrific. You get a chance to get a stud. The Steelers get some guy in the teens every year, Broderick Jones, who they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. This Troy Fatano got hurt last year. 2 tackles they've drafted back-to-back years that haven't even played well for them. So it's like when you're drafting that late in the draft, you got to be a great GM. You got to be able to identify difference makers, talent. And whatever it is with the Steelers, I think the guy's name is Omar Khan, their GM. I don't think he drafts well. And realistically, the Steelers aren't a very active team in free agency. Like, who did they sign?
And now look what the Jets have done. If they're going to follow that pass, they just made a move for Geno Smith. They're not even trying to develop a young guy anymore.
The future's not on the roster for the Jets or the Steelers.
Probably not.
I don't think Aller is going to come to fruition
to be some
superstar.
He feels like a career backup to me.
He does. 3rd-round picks are not anything that you can lean on for next year. That's why I asked the question. I'm going with Rodgers. I think you have to do it for one more year because you don't have anything in the stable. You don't have the horses to compete. You can do Rudolph, you can do some of these other guys, but to sell that to your fan base rather than just bring back Rodgers, who the fans of Pittsburgh admire.
Yeah, he can still run that play action.
Yeah.
He's still witty. He still knows how to read a defense better than anybody.
Because without him, where are they last year?
They're a 6-win team, maybe a 5-win team.
They're starting Will Howard. So it is starting the next phase of Pittsburgh football.
Yeah, but I just don't like Rodgers holding these teams ransom.
I don't like him
every offseason. It's getting old.
Personally, I've never liked Rodgers, but I think for the Steelers' best interest, they need to bring him back for one more season. All right, let's go to the next one here. As this non-sports one, movie theater experience or a home movie. How about that?
You know what? When 2013 rolled around, I had young kids. I did put a little, I don't even know how big my screen is, 100-inch screen or something, 130. I think it's 130. It's not huge.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, and it's a small little man cave, and so we used that. But I found myself lately going and taking the kids to a couple of movies that they wanted to see.
Yeah.
And there's something about that movie theater popcorn. And so, man, that's tough. For me, personally, it's the man cave. It's at home. I'm lounging back.
Yeah.
So you're comfortable and you can go to the fridge, whatever you want, the bathroom. You don't have to go far.
Stop it.
It's the home theater for me. But lately, my kids have been back to the old movie theater. I feel like going out to the movies is making a little bit of a comeback
I
since
think so, too.
COVID.
Yeah,
It's
I think
taken a
so.
while after COVID for that to regurgitate itself and be more popular. And I still think it's a lot lower than it was pre-COVID. But I think that you're seeing a few more people get out to the movie theaters, and we should have some summer blockbusters, right? I don't know what's on tap for the
It's
summer.
always summer blockbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good ones out there.
What's-
I don't know if you've been out to like Coral Cliffs, like out in
Hurricane?
Hurricane.
They
Yeah,
have a-
that has the VIP lounge.
I
So you
have-
get the recliners and they bring you your food. They do like an intermission so you can get up and go to the bathroom, and then they bring you a dessert and then start the movie.
Really?
Finish it. Oh yeah, it's
That's the
awesome.
real deal.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be driving to H-Town really soon.
There you go.
It's our favorite.
Hurricane they should promote that. How did I not know about that?
I don't know.
I mean, I know they have the luxury seats.
Yeah.
And that sounds like they have luxury
The
seats
luxury
with service.
seats. Yeah.
With a
Yep.
with a full
With
meal.
full service. Yeah.
Wow.
Not just popcorn and snacks. You can actually order really good food.
Well, hey, if you stay home on Mother's Day, you got a waiter and 3 assistants.
yeah, right? Exactly.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I will go home theater though. Tara, it sounds like you're going Coral Cliffs.
Yeah.
Aren't they putting like a new bowling alley next door to that theater? Didn't I,
I
hear
think
something about that?
so.
Like
I
a
think
fun
that's-
center or something?
Yeah.
Out
It's
there?
a huge building. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but that's
cool.
what I had heard.
That's cool. What did I see? My kids, they wanted to go to the Mario Galaxy movie, the new
Yeah.
Super. So
Yeah,
that was the
I
last
bet.
movie that I took my daughter to.
Nice.
So, Paulie, did you answer the question?
I'll go with the home movie.
Home movie. Okay.
All right, let's go to the last one here. Snow Canyon baseball or the field?
Oh my goodness. Do I have? That's not a fair. I hate answering questions like that
yeah.
because we're going to be calling all of those games. Why are you trying to give me locker board material for somebody out there?
Locker board or locker room, you mean?
Locker board, whatever. Locker room.
There you go.
Team
No,
room.
it's not locker room material. Just wanting, and you don't have to pick one or the other. But what's your lean?
I really like the way that team from 1 through 9 hits it.
Yes.
I think their pitching is good enough to win a state championship.
Yes.
But if you're going to give me the field, sorry, Coach Seacrest, I think I've got to
A lot of horses in the field.
Yeah, I mean, just one bad outing, you drop to that one loss bracket,
Yeah.
and this team, Snow Can though, this team, it's state championship or bust. I mean,
Yes.
they are hungry after losing.
Yes.
Last year, they got a chip on their shoulder. I love that added motivation.
Yes.
But again, if you're going to give me,
The field.
The
You
whole
like
field,
the field.
crimson.
Crimson, Desert Hills,
Yeah.
Timpanogos, I think Ridgeline is good enough to win it. Pineview Dixie could make a run, get to bracket play, would shock nobody with the strength of Region 9. So, yeah, that's kind of where I sit right now.
You're on the field. All right.
It's
fun.
tough, though.
Yes.
That's tough because
Yeah.
I really like what Snow Canyon's got.
That's right. They got a lot of talent.
And, the McGavaros have been coming on. Jagger at shortstop has really been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Cade Kelch is just a dude.
Yeah, he is.
Trayvon is just a star.
Yeah. And even like guys that don't get talked about a lot, like
Tra-
Ross, Hanson, they've got so many guys.
Trayvon feels like a guy that's maybe a little bit underrated as far as CSU Eastern.
Yeah.
He's hitting 520, 515 right now, something, give or take a couple points.
Yeah.
He feels like a guy that's going to go up there and hit like 390 at the JUCO level, 400, and then he's going to get to a big university. That's what I feel like. That guy, and he remember how good he was playing football. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Edge
like
rusher. He was
I'm
dominant.
like 51% field, 49% Snow Canyon right now. If that makes any sense at all, it is that close. Ta,
Wow.
how you feeling on that question?
I am going to take the field as well.
It's tough, though.
Yeah, it is tough.
I mean, you look at the 2 losses. They lost to Crimson by 1 on the road, and then we know what happened in the Dixie game in extra innings.
Yeah. I think it's
I mean, they were that close to Snow Canyon was that close to going undefeated.
yeah.
But they
if
didn't. They didn't.
Like a future type prognostication. I mean, I just don't see any lineups muzzling them or any pitching staff muzzling this lineup. So
Not 1 through 9.
not 1 through 9.
You're
So,
gonna have to score 5 or 6 runs to beat them.
That's right.
I mean, I don't think 2 runs is enough to beat Snow Canyon unless you have maybe some teams have a top ace.
Yeah.
But with your 2s and 3s,
But
good
the
luck.
3-game sets
Good luck.
in the
Yeah.
championship round and such that it doesn't bode well for teams having to face this lineup. So
Yep. All right.
I would lean Snow Canyon.
Okay. All right. I like it. I can't argue with that. I was that close to doing the same. That's a good.
right.
That's a really good question. That's a hard loaded question.
Yeah,
and where
loaded.
we're broadcasting all the games.
It's just a lean. You
it's
don't
just
have to,
a lean.
You don't have to say like that.
Yeah,
you
I'm not
think
picking-
it's gospel,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, I just what I've seen done a number of Snow Canyon games, and wow, it's unreal.
Yeah.
So, all right, last one here. How about this? The environments in the two buildings. Would you rather be in a Game 7 at T-Mobile Arena, being if the Mammoth win tonight, or would you rather be at a Super Bowl for the Seahawks?
Super Bowl for the Seahawks.
Super Bowl for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean,
even though
that's-
it's more of a just a wine and cheese crowd, not a great environment.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
just
I mean,
to see the game. I understand.
I was hooked from the fishing trip with Dave Craig and Kurt Warner and Joe Nash.
Man, I've heard about this fishing trip a bunch.
When the old Seahawks came over to Mardon Resort and we got to go out and help them tie on some hooks and fish with the Seahawks, I was hooked. I was 10, 11 years old. So, yeah, I've been a Hawks fan for my entire life, and that is a bucket list thing.
Maybe
to
I should
do.
have said playoff game, not
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Super
It's a
Bowl
little
is
too
kind of the
elevated.
pinnacle.
How about I change it? A quick revision here. Divisional round game in Seattle, or Game 7 of the Utah Mammoth and the Vegas Golden Knights from T-Mobile Arena.
You know, I've fallen in love with the game of hockey the last 8 years.
Yes.
And there is a chance I might go down Sunday if there is a Game 7. We'll see what happens tonight, because I've been itching to get down to a game myself.
Yeah.
I've only been to one Knights game this year, and I still have not been to the Delta Center. And part of me is like, this is a win-win, because if the Mammoth can somehow come back and win the series, we might have a home playoff game that week of the state baseball tournament where maybe we can get up to a game up there as well. I really want to see the Delta Center and that crowd and take that environment in.
Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
but it's still Seahawks. Nice
Okay.
try. Nice try.
All right. That's all I got.
Nice try. We'll take a break. It's a Feel Good Friday on the drive from the Finley Hyundai studio. Stay with us. What's up, everybody? It is The Drive. Thank you for locking us in, loading us up on the app, on the airwaves, watching on YouTube this morning. We're streaming the show every single day here from the Finley Hyundai Studios. Love our sponsors, Coral Canyon Golf Course. Get out and play. Going to be a beautiful weekend this weekend weather-wise, so go to coralcanyongolf.com. Check out the tee sheet, see if you can get out. Also, appreciate our friends at Wilkinson's Prime IV, One Health, Dixie Primary Care. I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a family doctor, quick shout out to One Health here in St. George. And their new doctor, their newest doctor, Dr. Carl Turner. He sees everyone, newborns, kids, women's health. He can even check me and Paulie's blood pressure when it's boiling after we've had a ruckus show of true family medicine. One Health, St. George, Dixie Primary Care. Paulie, Tara, we have a big hockey game tonight.
We do, yeah.
On the excitement meter, if you will. Are we all a 10 for this game tonight?
Yes.
I am, for sure. Yeah.
I think we're all a 10. I mean, this one feels fun. This one feels special because of the way I think the series has played out, where the Mammoth have lost 2 in a row. And they've got a chance for these young guys to taste now the playoffs after, 5 games and win 2 of them and be in this series with a chip and a chair and a chance to even it up 3-3 going back to a winner-takes-all scenario in Vegas on Sunday. This one just feels like it's going to be a brawl tonight at the Delta Center.
It is.
And I don't know. The books are tight on this game tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knights are just the slightest of favor. They are minus 115. And the
road,
Mammoth.
that's they're giving them at least 50 or so odds points for that being at home. So that's really a big statement, giving the Knights the favorite on the road.
Yeah, and it's a must-win situation for the Mammoth. The Mammoth are minus 105. So the books are like, hey, this one's going to be close. We're gonna get juicy on both sides.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of action on both sides because people think it can go either way. The tenor of the series has definitely changed, though. The just being there in the last game, talking to people that were on the beat, working the game, even the people on the Utah side of things were saying, they're getting baited into penalties. They're falling victim of not having experience in a lot of these games. And Coach T, he really went into a shell in the last minute, allowed that empty net goal, in my opinion, the way the schematics set up, the way they were playing defense, the way they were being in a shell, staying back. So they give up that 5th one or the 4th one, and then they get the OT loser and double OT. It's about as bad as it can be for the Mammoth to lose a double OT game whenever you gave up an empty net goal with 52 seconds. I think that
I would disagree.
I think that the desperation is there for them.
Yeah.
They're at odds now. They're down 3-2 with the last game in Vegas, and I think they see the writing on the wall.
This is an elimination game for Utah. So they are going to be highly motivated. The winner will move on to face Anaheim after last night. Anaheim dispatched of Edmonton 5-2. So Utah must win to force Game 7, like we said, Sunday, back down in Las Vegas. If you've not been following this series closely, the teams are pretty even on paper, guys. Goals per game, Utah 3.27. Vegas 3.22. Goals allowed, 2.90 for Utah, 2.95 for Vegas. I mean, statistically, really, really, really even. Close games in every series. Nobody has won by more than 2.
Yes.
4-2 was the biggest Mammoth win, and a 2-goal win for the Knights, the biggest. And the last 2 have been overtime thrillers, 5-4. Double overtime thriller in Game 5.
And losing in overtime twice. I mean,
no lead is safe.
That has a factor.
Nobody can hold a lead, and no lead is safe. That's what that tells me.
And it has a rip your heart out factor as well. If you're the Mammoth, you know, you lose that game after playing 7 extra minutes of time on the road where you have a lead with less than a minute. I don't see any possible way that the vibes are high in Utah, even though their backs against the wall. They're going to say all the right things to the media. I know the crowd will bring them up.
The vibes are high in Utah.
Crowds will bring them up, but
it's not like they're just getting blown out or just like totally defeated. They're fighting. They have a chance.
That
you can't even
count
say
in the playoffs. They
it
lost.
does count.
They lost, so it doesn't matter. But the series lead is 3-2. But they lost.
But Jack,
so there's no other way. There's no silver linings or
not like
gold
they just got
stars for
swept.
losing.
They haven't been
They're going to
swept.
lose tonight. So
Okay.
They might lose tonight. The Knights are a veteran, experienced team, but they could clap back, and it wouldn't shock anybody if they forced a Game 7, myself included. Cooley, Gunther, I think Yamamoto might be one of like a guy like him. They need Paterka, Yamamoto. Somebody else has got to step up other than Cooley, Gunther, or
Schmaltz, we need
or
him to step
Schmaltz.
up.
He could be an X factor. We know what Jack brings to the Knights. Jack has been the most important player on this Knights roster. When I heard Torts the other night go up, he went up to him privately after Game 4 in Salt Lake City when the Knights won the first overtime 5-4 game and said, that was the greatest game I've ever seen you skate. He said that to Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
And this is Tortorella, who's been around the league, and he's been around a lot of terrific hockey players over the years. That spoke volumes to me because Jack Eichel just played in the Olympics, and we saw Jack play pretty good in the Olympics, and that was the best game Tortorella had ever seen Jack Eichel play. Now, he didn't do as much in Game 5, but Jack Eichel is still the most important guy for the Vegas Golden Knights. The 3-assist game in Game 4 was the one he was referring to. If you're trying to follow along while you're driving to work this morning,
he is a Selke nominee every year. He's a two-way guy. That's what makes him so dangerous. Is he takes away some of the best players on Utah, and it really hasn't been Cooley since games 1 and 2. He has not scored. He has not found the back of the net. He's taken a lot of penalties in the last game, 2 minors. So.
He seems like he's getting a little frustrated.
The inexperience, it's playing in. I mean, it's clear that the inexperience of some of these guys in their first time in the playoffs, there's a mind game in playoff hockey. You're baiting guys into taking penalties, slashing, calls, roughing after the whistle. So, they're falling victim to that.
What about the goal? The biggest X factor tonight to me might be the goaltenders. Both have been scored upon, but both have actually been clutch in other moments. Like it's an interesting series. You can't say it's been unbelievable goalie play because of the amount of goals that we've had in this series. But if you've watched every second of this series, both netminders have made some unbelievable stops on occasion and have been standing on their head on an occasion. You just got a lot of people firing a lot of shots on the net. What was it, 31 to 29 shots the other night? It was more than that in the double overtime
33
game.
to 12. So, and then you win a game like that. That's another example. One of Utah's 2 wins is an ultimate fluke. You get tripled up in shots and still win.
But that was Game 3.
Game 3.
Game 3.
They tripled them up in shots and still lost for the Knights.
Negative goals saved above expected. Both teams have had that.
Yeah.
That's why games are high scoring, kind of chaotic. 5-4 is a high scoring playoff hockey game.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we saw some 5-2 scores last night with a couple teams moving on. The Ducks move on. They beat Edmonton. We saw that with the Minnesota Wild last night. They win 5-2. What a flurry at the end by Minnesota last night, eh?
Yeah.
Minnesota, eh?
They're there.
The Wild are kind of an interesting storyline, and Dallas comes up way short again.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Dallas does differently. Do they keep firing coaches till they find one that can get them to the Stanley Cup?
Maybe.
I'm kind of with you, Paulie. I lean experience, advantage, edge, but there's something about this hungry Mammoth team. They're going to show a lot of fight tonight. It's got me really, really nervous.
Yeah.
I expect a fast start from Utah. Desperation, home ice.
Yeah, they'll come out buzzing as every team down in the series and about to be eliminated will. But I just think the Knights are the better team on paper, and it's shining through now.
5 to 7 goals again. Are we going to see 5 to 7 goals again in this game total?
I don't know.
The over-under is 5.5 again.
Yeah.
I was
Holding
wrong.
firm at that. You thought it'd be 6.5 last game, right?
Game 5, I said Knights 3-2.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a little bit more of a defensive scoring, and I was dead wrong. It was 9 gols scored again in the game. Now,
Correct.
it did go to double overtime, but only 1 goal in between the 2 overtimes. So it wasn't like once we got to overtime, we knew it was going to be the exact same score in Game 5 as it was in Game 4. So that was not the surprise. The lean is the Knights. I see what you're doing, Paulie, and I don't hate it. The lean is the Knights because they win close games, because they have more playoff experience, maybe better 5-on-5 metrics. They prove now in Game 4 and 5 that they can win the tight games when the pressure's on. Vegas has been favored most of the series, but I know that I have actually gained respect for the Utah Mammoth by watching this playoff series.
Absolutely.
I've actually started loving this team more
As
by
everyone
this
should.
matchup than I did before this series. They've showed me grit and heart, and they've built a fan. Like, there's some exciting things happening for Salt Lake City and the state of Utah when it comes to this hockey team. And I think you've been up there, Tara's been up there. I'm flying a little blind on this, but you guys saw the line.
Yes.
For the jersey swap.
That's right.
Like, there is some smart little subtle things that they have turned this state into a hockey state.
Yes, they have.
2 quick years, which is pretty impressive.
And it takes success.
You know
which
what's
they've
helped
had
them?
this year?
A crappy NBA product right now.
That helps too.
I think that does.
It does.
I really do. People would rather go see a Mammoth team win than a Jazz team lose by 30 with, 3 G Leaguers playing in the fourth quarter that you'd have never heard of. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
I agree.
I'm gonna go Knights 4, Mammoth 3 tonight in a close one. And the Knights are gonna have to hold off a furious late barrage of goals. And I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong and the Mammoth get this to overtime and this one goes to OT again for a third straight game. That's how close I think tonight's game is going to be.
I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go 5-3 on the empty net. I think that they get the Mammoth going to empty the net with about 3 minutes or so as they are facing elimination. So
A little earlier than normal.
empty net. At the end of series, you always see that the net empties a little earlier, give them more opportunity. But I don't think that that they're going to have the skill to do it. I mean, they got world-class skill across the lines for the Mammoth as far as the young talent, but they're inexperienced, and that's shown in the last 2 games. So I go Knights 5-3.
Tara, give the Mammoth fans hope tonight. Utah's desperation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Mammoth win it tonight. We see a game 7.
They clap back.
Yep.
As Paulie likes to say. The desperation is a funny thing.
Yeah.
And look. The Knights seem built for this moment with the experience and everything, but the moment doesn't seem too big for this young, hungry Mammoth team.
It doesn't. And I don't know. I wouldn't even call it desperation. It's not like it's 3-0 and they're about to be swept. Like,
Elimination
they've
is
been
desperation.
well, it is, but
the pure definition.
It's not like they're about to be swept.
I
They
think
have proved they can win and they can move on.
Maybe the word is urgency.
Urgency, I mean, it is a must win, but I don't know that it's desperation.
Yeah.
Being swept 4-0 is desperation.
Well,
but
these young guys, I think they've tasted the playoffs. I think they like it. I think the Mammoth are embracing this matchup, this rivalry. I think there's a lot of positives. But when your own beat writers are a little nervous that they're playing with house money, it feels a little bit of desperation when it's a win and move on scenario, because the Knights do have control of this series again. I mean, they got 2 shots to win 1 game, and Game 7 would be back in Vegas. But I have no problem with you picking the Mammoth tonight, because if the Knights win this game, it will probably be the hardest earned win of the series by a long shot. That is my lean on that.
Yes.
So it's going to be terrific. I'm actually hoping that we get like a really nice pitchers duel. I'll be at Dixie High School. I'm kind of hoping
for a quick game.
So I can get over to get some dinner and watch the third period. You know,
you go.
Is that self of me? A little bit,
kind of.
Little
but
selfish.
It's all right. That's
you feel me on that? You're working a game. You feel me on that?
Yeah, I feel you. I understand.
Of course, Terry, you're going to be at the game. What's on?
Yes, I will be at the game.
What's on the dinner menu? But what's a pregame meal before you go to a Mammoth game tonight?
I usually go to STK Steakhouse up there. That's right across from the Delta Center.
Oh, is that right by the Marriott right there?
Yeah, it is.
Right there.
Right across.
Okay. I've seen that menu, but I have not
amazing.
been there.
It's so good.
What steak do you get?
Usually the filet, but they do have like Wagyu, and I like the calamari. There honestly isn't anything bad on that menu. So
Love it.
and then be at the game.
That'll be fun. Knights Mammoth. We'll talk more about it, a little bit more in-depth breakdown coming up hour number 2. Glad you're with us. Thanks for locking us in, loading us up. Show today brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health makes it easy for guys to look and feel your best. Free testosterone tests and a free vitamin shot in a month free vitamin shots ongoing if you sign up with their services. So go check that out over there at Game Day Men's Health. They got this summer shred coming up. We'll tell you details on their new summer shred package, which features some of the peptides that are kind of the buzzword in the health industry right now. They've also got sexual performance products to help you get out and enjoy the night. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And, of course, even hair loss restoration. I'm starting to thin a little bit. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit. I think my headset. I blame my headset. I think my headset is rubbing right here, guys. That's my excuse, and I'm going to stick to it. Hour 1 in the books. Hour 2. A big second hour on a Feel Good Friday coming up. What up, everybody? Hour 2 on a Feel Good Friday. Hope you're in good spirits. Ready to have a blessed day. Thank you for locking us in, loading us up here on your hometown sports source, the Fan Sports Network, where we have playoff baseball tonight. 2 games coming your way on the live stream tonight. There'll be the local games. Hurricane is on the road up at Mountain View. Cedar is hosting Park City. So we'll have updates on those games, but we will be bringing you Dixie at home against Murray and Pineview at home against East. Both those games have been bumped back to 7 p.m. start times tonight, so you can get the wraparound coverage on the radio. We'll be bouncing around, or you can watch either one of those games on our website or our YouTube page, as well as KSLSports.com. We brought in Eric Gould, great writer locally for St. George News. Eric, what was your reaction when the brackets came out yesterday? Of course, Snow Canyon Desert Hills go number 1 and number 2, but what stood out?
How you doing, guys? Great to be here. I think what stood out, I heard you guys talking a little bit earlier, just the brackets in terms of there being 2 different ones. Number 1, Snow Canyon gets to be on the top bracket. I think they have the clearest path to the championship series for sure. Yeah. I think down in the lower half where you've got Crimson and Desert Hills, who will meet up probably on Monday at Kearns High School. Yeah, if everything goes to chalk, that will be the matchup on the opening day of the championship series, so that'll be incredible, of course.
That's what happened last year, if you remember right. And Madden Smith, shut down the Thunder and then went on to win the ship. And I thought that was the pivotal game early in the week.
I agree 100%, and I think both of those teams absolutely remember that game, and it will probably be Dougie pitching in that game, you would imagine, but maybe they'll go with Tyler Ransom. Who knows? He's a great left-hander. Going on to Texas A&M, I believe. Crimson, the defending champs, they're loaded as always. Just because they're the number 1 seed, or number 7 seed, it doesn't mean that they won't win. They're going to be right in there.
What about like the Dixie, Pineview, Desert Hill? I mean, it's pretty easy to say Snow Canyon, Desert Hills, Crimson because they're all getting buys. They're in good position. You know, anytime you get a top 8 seed, it's a better path. But any run you see, a more likely run between Hurricane, Cedar, Dixie, or Pineview? Any of those teams that you think got the capabilities to get hot and make some noise?
Horse out of that group, I think I'd probably pick Pineview as the dark horse. Tristan Sylvester is for real. He can pitch. Yeah. And then they got some guys who can hit the ball too, and they're also going on that momentum of the walk-off against Crimson Cliffs. I expect them Pineview to win tonight and here in the regional round tonight and tomorrow, and then Pineview could upset some teams. I think they have the capability.
Like that, Panthers. I like that pick.
Cash Cisneros, man, they had 3 double plays. He had 3 putouts from behind the dish, plus he swings it. Rayton Hunt was the hero with that walk-off home run that EG was referring to.
Yes.
Poe Campbell is a dude. Porter Campbell can do everything out there in center field. We even saw him come in and pitch last Tuesday night and get the win. Yeah. So I like that pick, EG. I like that pick. One of the other reason we wanted Eric to stop by the show this morning was he just did a story on the Kentucky Derby, but it's got some local ties to it. Eric,
this is cool.
There's a horse in Hurricane that is running for the Roses.
It's an incredible story, Devin. It's about this guy named John Brocklebank. He's a horse agent, is what they call him. That means he buys and sells horses. He's been doing it for his whole life.
Okay.
And he came across this horse, Pavlovian, which is related to a horse he had in the past called Brother Derek.
Okay.
And Pavlovian is a young colt, just a wonderful horse on the field in the Kentucky Derby that we're looking at here. That he is the most experienced horse. He's run 10 races. He is also the biggest long shot as far as I can see up here. Well, third. He is 52 to 1 are the odds right now on this long shot Pavlovian, 52 to 1. And then the biggest long shot is Intrepido, who's predicted to be third by some people. He's 55 to 1, biggest long shot.
Interesting.
Favorite in the race is Renegade, definitely won the Arkansas Derby and is a very good horse, definitely the favorite. But there's some other ones in there, too, that could win. Commandment is a very good horse.
Yes.
So it's going to be a battle. And if you're into looking at the ponies and you like to pick the dark horses, and maybe make a small wager, which these things happen on the Kentucky Derby. I think if you like betting the dark horse, go with Pavlovian.
Yeah.
Pavlovian. I like the local ties for sure.
This guy, John Brocklebank, is a really interesting guy. In my story, I called him the horse whisperer. And that was just an easy pop culture reference because he does love his horses. He talks to them. He understands them. He calls them the athletes.
Yes. My favorite quote from your story here. Quote, we have the only athlete in the world that won't renegotiate his contract. You can just feed him peppermint and scratch him behind the ear. How about that? No NIL for these horses.
Absolutely not. And that's a horseman right there. That's the cowboy. So just a great guy, Brocklebank, and he and his wife are at Churchill Downs right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to be watching the horse and the race live. They were invited to go to watch the race with the trainer. His name is Doug O'Neill. And the jockey on Pavlovian is a guy named Edwin Maldonado. And that's an incredibly interesting story as well. This is the first time he's running a horse in the Kentucky Derby. So he's a rookie rider.
Wow.
He's 43 years old.
So a 43-year-old rookie and a horse from Hurricane.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what story. This sounds like we should write a Disney movie about
Dude,
this.
I'm telling you, this story has it all. You can see it at stgeorgenews.com. And another thing about the jockey that's interesting, he was never regarded or figured to be a good jockey because he's too tall.
Yeah, they want like to be 5'5" and under.
And he's 5'7".
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a profession where 5'7" is too tall.
Yes, you're a giant.
Yeah, we have this guy running on this horse.
Yeah,
and
but what
Pavlovian
does he weigh?
huge. I'm not sure about that. They're all light. You know, those jockeys. And they also have to be, combined scientifically to figure out with the horse.
With the horse,
weight,
like how many
the
hands
best kind of
is the
physics they
horse
can
and
get
everything.
going. Yeah, all of that is factored into it.
Do you know
It's
how
incredible.
tall Pavlovian
I
is?
don't.
Like,
There's pictures of him in the story, and you can see he's a big horse.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So then that's going to be just
trying
fine.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
they
do how many
measure in
hands.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It looks like he's at least 20 hands high.
He's a big fella.
Yeah, but you're right, Tara. It was they picked Maldonado specifically to be the jockey of the horse because of his height.
right.
He can ride atop a big horse like that and keep him under control.
For my wife's grandfather was big into horse racing. A lot of her uncles and great uncles. So I spent a lot of early years, Turf Paradise, and we used to go up to 24th Beaver to the the something Marshall, the John Marshall.
Yeah,
Have you ever
yeah.
been up to that?
I've heard
I've been
about
up there
it.
5
I
or
wish I could
6
see it.
times
Yeah, yeah.
over the years. A lot of fun. They used to have a lot more horse races here at the Washington County Fairgrounds. They
Right.
don't as much anymore. I've been to Del Mar a couple of times down in Southern California, but I've always wanted to get out to the Kentucky Derby. There's actually a friend of mine
Any
that's
of the Triple Crown, right? Like the
Oh, yeah.
Belmont. That would be
Preakness.
like
Yeah.
a dream.
All
Yeah.
of
This
them
is in
awesome.
Baltimore. I've been. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll
You've
bet.
been to the Preakness.
I have.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to Northern Virginia.
I mean,
Yeah, those horse racing scenes, I definitely don't have the clothes or the attire
Yeah,
to
it
be
is.
wearing.
You don't have the hat?
I'll be watching on TV, but it's a scene for the
It's
social
cool.
folks for
Yeah.
sure.
So I was talking to somebody the other day, and the story just popped into my head when you said hat. There is a hat maker. She makes them all custom, and this is what she does. She makes hats all year round. Goes up and does a booth and sells these hats for $2,000 to $5,000 a hat. They're all handmade custom.
Yeah.
She's from right here in St. George. And then another buddy of mine is out there every year as a vendor, and he actually invited me and the wife to go one of these years out to the
Wow.
Kentucky Derby. So it definitely is now on my radar, but I have
Yes.
never been to the Kentucky Derby.
That is
But
a bucket list.
You definitely
for sure.
should. If you, as a sports fan and anyone who likes animals as much as I do, of course, I've never been to Kentucky Derby, but I'd love to go and be so cool.
oh man,
It would be amazing.
We got to
It'd be
find
awesome.
Eric a hat though. If
Yeah,
he goes.
Right. Yeah.
That's true. I'll put that out there if someone wants to sponsor me over
Yeah.
there, some trainer or owner.
We need like a Mad Hatter.
Yeah,
one
you
for
will need to get me a hat. Yeah.
There you go. We got to get him that hat. One of those floppy
Wait,
sun
wait.
hats.
He's got a lot better head of hair than I got, and you got combined. Paulie.
Correct.
Hey, look at that.
Okay,
he doesn't,
but
he doesn't need a
at the
hat.
Kentucky Derby, it's not about the hair; it's all about the hat.
Well, I
have
thought
to have
about
it.
that
But
when
more
I
for the women than the men, right?
I was looking at
Probably,
Pavlovian,
yeah.
and he doesn't have a resplendent mane. He's kind of got a He's got a cropped short hair, mane of hair
Short
on
mane,
him. So
yeah.
Okay.
I think the short hair will help him run back faster.
How's his tail? Is it braided? Do we have a
Well, see, they're not
intricacy?
into that. This is a horse race,
I know, but still.
and he is a colt.
So it's not rodeo, right? You
Exactly.
don't have to have like
Yep.
intricate
Speaking of
braiding
rodeo,
in the tail.
Dixie Roundup Rodeo this year will be at the Washington County Fairgrounds because
Yeah.
they're rebuilding the Dixie Bowl.
That's right.
So the rodeo coming up next month will be out at Washington County Fairgrounds.
Nice. Good stuff. Eric Gould, you could read his stuff. Great sports writer for stgeorgenews.com. Go check out the story on the local horse running
Yes.
for the Roses in the
Pavlovian.
fastest 2 minutes in sports. Post time is just before 5 o'clock Mountain Time. So they will go in the post. I think it's like 4:57 or something. And I always record the Derby.
Yeah, it's
because
quick.
there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Because then if you're not ready and you're not
Yeah,
home
you
with
gotta
that
be watching
moment.
pre-race stuff.
Yeah, because
you can't
it-
just tune in and hope you get it because you'll miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Enjoy the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. Tara, if you had to pick the best name that would win the Derby by name only, you know nothing about the horse, but which horse has the best name? The naming
I
of
like
the
Intrepido.
Intrepido.
Intrepido is pretty cool.
Let's go.
What about Incredibolt?
I like
Right?
the Puma.
Yeah,
Like the Puma.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting there.
Yeah.
Cheetah. No, it should be the cheetah. I don't know. Yeah, but I like that.
I like Right to Party.
Yeah, right to
Yeah.
party
Yeah,
is
that's a good
funny.
one.
Yeah.
6 speed's pretty good.
Right to Party's
Yeah.
great.
And of course, the best name is Pavlovian.
Yep.
His father, the sire, was Pavel, so that's how they got his name.
So the Pavlov's dogs is probably where he's going with that Pavlovian response or whatever.
Could well be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too.
All right.
I do like emerging
That's
market.
actually kind of messed up, though.
Emerging market on the outside. Now it's to the inside. Here comes Pavlonian. I mean, the call. It would be
Yeah.
so fun
Yeah.
It would
to
be.
broadcast
It's
a
basically an
Kentucky Derby.
auctioneer. you know?
100%.
They're going so fast. They're saying, you know,
Yeah.
to the next one, to the next one. He's on the
Sold.
outside. He's going down to the right. And he go Secretariat on the inside.
When do you
know?
breathe? When do you breathe?
It's
And
hard to
down the
breathe.
stretch they come.
Yeah.
And
Secretariat was the last one to win the triple, right? I
yeah,
thought.
No,
I think
we've
someone
had
has since
we have
then.
had a
Oh,
triple
there
crown
has.
winner
Okay.
since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've
Yeah,
had
we can look it up.
4.
There's been others. Yeah.
Affirmed, was it affirmed or
No.
Seattle Slew was
That
the original
might have been one.
way back in the day.
Justified.
Justified
Yeah,
he
was the
got
last one to win the Triple Crown, but it hasn't been for a while. What year was that?
2018.
2018?
It's
7,
been
8 years?
8 years.
Okay, hasn't been been a little bit.
Hey, I like this great white too. We could get some Macklemore. Like, gave a little speed to a great white shark on park. We can go.
Hey,
They could play it while the horse is walking up into the post.
Oh, good stuff. Eric Gould, everybody. St. George News. Check him out, stgnews.com. EG, thanks for stopping by, and you'll probably see him out covering some high school state playoff baseball here in the weeks to come.
See you out at baseball. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here on the Fan.
All right, got to take a time out. Lots more sports talk when we're coming back after a message from our great local partners. I love me some Dierks Bentley. This is
It's
good.
good.
Snakes on a Plane. This is a good one.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
Yep.
We need more country in our lives, everybody. Yeah. After we're talking about the Kentucky Derby, I'm stoked. I think that was very informative from Eric.
Yeah, it was.
That was cool.
Eric happened to walk by the studio this morning. He's working on another story, and he popped in to say hi to us, and we started asking him what story he just finished, and he said, "Oh, I just did this one on the Kentucky Derby." I said,
Yeah.
"Jump on the air with this, man. Let's talk about Pavlonian. This is a cool story. Now I have a horse to really root for."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally it's just a random one with the best name or whatever, but now I'm
Hey.
a Pavlovian guy.
52-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's worth throwing $10 on
There
just
you
for
go.
fun, right?
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
come on.
There you go, buddy.
NBA last night. Holy smokes! Will the real Knicks please stand up? Please stand up.
Hey, that was good.
I mean, what a whooping! 140-89. They were up.
Yeah.
They win by over 50 points. 51-point victory.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Like, I mean, the Hawks, okay, they were, 46-36 this year. But they were at home. They were at home in a must-win situation to force a Game 7.
And they gave up.
And then the Knicks ripped their heart out in the first quarter, and you're 100% correct. They knew they couldn't win that game.
Yeah, they just gave up. So at home, that's always not inspiring for the fans that paid all the money to be there. But when you are down by almost 35 at halftime, it's time to pack it in their minds. But that's sad for the Hawks because they were an up-and-coming kind of team. A lot of people were kind of picking them to pull the upset in this first round. So
Yeah.
they got some talent. I mean, after trading away Trae Young, I don't think anyone expected them to make this playoff run they've made, but they've got some good pieces, young pieces, but it looks like the Knicks and Brunson and OG Anunoby had a big game last night are going to be too much for the Hawks.
Absolutely.
4-2 series win.
Yeah. 4-2, it's over, 140-89. Knicks moving on. Is this the Knicks' year to come out of the East? It really feels like it should be. With the Sixers winning last night, that is a whole new series. Sixers are giving the Celtics all they want. Philly won 106-93 last night. And then Minnesota knocks Denver and the Joker out of the postseason without Ant-Man or DiVincenzo. And they had
Two starters.
a third guy out last night, too. I mean, how is this? Is that more about Minnesota's depth, or is that more about blowing this thing up in Denver?
I can't make sense of it. Whenever you lose the best player on your team and you start losing game after game to narrow the series lead, I thought it's only a matter of time before Denver gets this series. You got one of the best players in the world in Nikola Jokic. You got good supporting cast, Jamal Murray, and those rest of those guys. So I just thought that they were going to take this series. One of our coworkers, Chris and Nate, they're both big Timberwolves fans. I was like, so after they lost to make it 3-2, I was like, probably going to give it up, huh? And he's like, yeah. Without our best player, we're up against it a little bit. And I said, well, there's always a chance. And I didn't believe there was a chance because the Nuggets were really surging. But the Timberwolves close them out in emphatic fashion, win by 12 at home. Good for them. That's a good win.
Well, Tim Connolly, who is the president of basketball operations, he left Denver. He's the one that drafted Jokic and built the Nuggets. He's now in Minnesota. And so he has kind of compiled this roster to be a team that could beat Denver. And this was just a bad matchup for Denver for some reason. And I wonder if it's Tim Connolly that needs some of the credit. He had, spent a decade with the Magic before going to Minnesota. And Matt Lloyd is the current general manager. He was the one that I think was in Denver, if I'm not mistaken. So
And you got to think Michael Malone leaving to go to North Carolina's got something to do with this as well.
I got to believe they're changing coaches again in the offseason.
I would assume
and they're going to
so.
blow this thing up and try to put some different players around Jamal Murray and the Joker. I just don't see another with a first round exit.
Yeah.
You got to reset.
That's right.
You're not going
And
to
I'm not saying Malone's going to win the games for him or anything, but he could have given them tactically some things that may have given them some advantages. But he's an NBA champion as a head coach and moves on to UNC. So I think that was a blow to the Nuggets this year. So not a lot of people talk about losing your coach on April 8th, and going into the playoffs. So pretty crazy stuff for the Nuggets. And
how long is Ant-Man out for?
I have not heard anything. It was a hyperextended knee is what Chris told me.
It didn't look good. I saw the video. And so some rest. They won't play San Antonio. Their next round matchup will be San Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't know that they can beat San Antonio, but they're good enough to win two, maybe 3 games against the Spurs. I just don't. If Ant-Man's not available for that series, it's just impossible for me to pick Minnesota to beat Wemby and the Spurs.
Yes.
Who was my pick before the playoffs started to win the West. So I thought they would get OKC this year and get to the finals.
Yes.
Tonight we've got another great NBA playoff slate. Magic Pistons. Magic lead 3-2. Magic better win this game, or the number 1 seed is going to come back and beat them in Game 7.
I would agree.
This is kind of a same scenario. The Magic are in the same scenario that Denver was in last night, and Denver could not get it done. So the Magic have a shot tonight against the Pistons to win it. And otherwise, I think they're going to blow this lead, and they're going to lose in 7. Cavs have a 3-2 lead. They are taking on Toronto tonight in Game 6. And Lakers-Rockets. Here come the Kevin Durant-less Houston Rockets, and they have gotten back into this series, and it's kind of the same scenario. Every game tonight has a win in advance or win in force Game 7 scenario.
Yeah.
So it should be a good night in the association. As for Jazz fans, Paulie, draft lottery wish list.
Yes, I was working on this morning a little bit as, I really got my thoughts churning about, the draft lottery in May. Jazz fans, probably their first blip of excitement since really the beginning of the year when they weren't terrible. So I think this is a good exercise. I went on tankathon.com and simmed the draft lottery about 6 times.
Okay.
And the average draft position for the Utah Jazz was 4.55. So we're going to say we're going to round up. We're going to round up and go with the 5th pick.
Okay.
So see, these are some of the players I think that will be available at the 5th pick that they could maybe take a chance on. Not saying they're going to end up with the 5th. They could end up with the 1. But let's go worst case scenario, because really 7 is the bottom.
7 is the bottom. 1 is the top. You would figure there would be somewhere in between.
That's right.
So we'll 4 or 5 is probably most likely.
Probably somewhere in there. Yeah. So let's go with the 5th pick and some of the guys that might be available there. How about Caleb Wilson, the power forward center from North Carolina? Averaged 19.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists this year. Had that season-ending injury, which was the reason North Carolina lost.
And he has a lot of upside.
He has a ton of upside. A really good athlete.
I would love that.
A lot of people love Cameron Boozer, and he's a below-the-rim guy. Caleb Wilson, above-the-rim athlete. So he would be a good pick for him, in my opinion. Another guy, kind of a combo swingman / guard, is Keaton Wagler from Illinois. He will presumably be available with the 5th pick. He'll be around. 17.9 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 4.2 assists. There's no player that raised his stock more in the NCAA tournament than Keaton Wagler. So those are 2 guys that I really think the Jazz will be looking at number 5 if that is where they pick. So I like those 2 guys probably the best of anyone at 5. I don't think Kingston Flemings, Cameron Boozer, AJ DeBonza, any of those guys will be available with that pick. So those are the 2 I've kind of pinpointed. Caleb Wilson, Keaton Wagler at the 5th pick is like my 2 most desirable outcomes, because you're going to lose the really top end elite guys, and then you're going to have to go a tier down and pick number 5. So, but those are 2 of the guys I think would fit the Utah Jazz and give them kind of the best player available approach. You don't draft for need, don't draft for that. Draft a starter that's going to play into your lineup for 10 plus years and be a superstar. So those are my 2 favorites at the 5th pick. Hopefully they get a higher pick than 5.
Draft lottery a couple weeks away. Why it matters for Jazz fans is, this is the night you've been waiting for. The ping pong balls decide your future. A top 4 pick can really catapult and reshape the rebuild, expedite the rebuild.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough, I feel like the ping pong balls owe the Jazz a solid after last year's.
I think
sliding down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And, the odds of them landing the one pick are less than, 7% or something. That's really low, but there is a chance.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
SLC Dunk, who does a really good job, it's an SB Nation platform for the Jazz.
Yep.
They've talked about their top 5 favorite fits with a lottery pick. They don't give them a set pick. They're saying, it's going to be somewhere between 1 and 7. Number 5 best fit, Braden Burry, guard from Arizona.
I love that
A lot of people like this guy. As young, really talented, good athlete. He's got a ways to go with the outside shot, but I think he can improve that. He's the 5th best fit. Number 4 fit is Cameron Boozer, National Player of the Year. He has Jazz in the bloodlines with Carlos, of course. They already have Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, and Walker Kessler.
That's a big
So is
lineup.
that a pick you need?
No.
Is Cameron Boozer someone?
They need an athletic wing more than that.
Okay, so number 3 fit is one of my guys.
But if he's there,
you got to take him.
You got to
best
take
player
him.
available
Yes.
type thing.
Yes.
So Caleb Wilson, his SLC Dunk's number 3 best fit for the Utah Jazz. Talked about his stats a while ago. He's really athletic. Like, that's the thing about Caleb Wilson, and he can shoot. He's got a nice mid-range game. So number 3 fit, Caleb Wilson. And then these two are kind of like if they get a top 3, top 2 pick. Number 2 fit, they're saying Darren Peterson from Kansas, guard. There's no better scorer in the game, in the college game last year, pure scorer, than Darren Peterson went on the court. Catchphrase, went on the court.
Went on the court.
That's right. And then the number 1 fit, obviously, is AJ DeBonza. So that's who SLC Dunk says.
NBA draft lottery scheduled for Mother's Day Sunday. May 10th, so we're 10 days away. It's in Chicago. It's going to be nationally broadcast on ESPN or ABC, actually.
Sure.
And that'll determine the first 14 picks of the 2026 NBA draft, which is scheduled for June 23rd.
Yeah.
That is when the draft will take place. All right, got to take a break. Back in a flash. Rolling through hour 2 on the Drive Show today, brought to you by Zag. Protect your phone better. Go get a free, replace your screen protector if it's all cracked. Maybe you need a new phone case. Maybe you're traveling, need some new ports or portable chargers. Zag has everything to deck out your phone. And if you ever break your actual phone, mention our show, The Drive, for $20 off any phone repair. We'll be right back. What's up, everybody? Thanks for logging us in, loading us up here on the Fan Sports Network. Today's show brought to you by Soda Weight Loss, formerly Soda Weight Loss. They got a new name. About a month ago, they kind of rebranded as Soda Diet and Nutrition, which I have learned so much about nutrition in the last 3 weeks. Weighed in and down to 176 pounds this morning, TA. How about that?
That's incredible. Way to go.
Down 10 pounds in 3 weeks, and my goal was 175. So I'm really almost there.
Right.
In 3 short weeks. And Soda, you can say it with me if you want. It's state of the art. Thank you, TA. They still got their spring promotion going on. If you want to let go of a few pounds like I am, you join now, and your partner joins for free. So 2 people, real accountability for the price of 1. No pills, no injections. It's just food you get from the grocery store. Me and my wife, every week on a Sunday, usually we go shopping and we grab what we're going to eat for the week. And I absolutely love my calls with the team of nutritionists. I like the structure. I like the tracking, the accountability. And they are helping you, guide you, take you by the hand, day by day, week by week, to get better habits and eat healthier with food you actually get at the grocery store. So you kind of reset your relationship with food. I feel lighter. I feel faster. I feel in control. And you can do it too. Hurry, though. For the limited time offer, I know you're going to love the program like I do. Everything is super easy to follow. They're so encouraging. SodaDietAndNutrition.com. SodaDietAndNutrition.com. It all starts there. You join, your partner joins for free. My wife's doing it with me. We're loving the journey together. We kind of keep each other accountable, so take advantage of that before that deal is gone. Or you can pick up the telly and call 866-800-SODA, 866-800-SOTA. Soda. State of the art.
State of the art.
State of the art.
Hey, we're a couple of weeks away from boating and bathing suit season.
Swimsuit season.
Yeah.
Summer sneaks up on you. Now's the time to get ready. You're going to be in those pictures anyway.
Yeah.
May as well look a little slimmer.
Might as well look good. Yeah.
State of the art. SodaDietNutrition.com. All right. Tonight, double dip. 2 games on the Fan Sports Network. Caden and Paulie going to be over at the game at Pineview. Pineview is playing East. That's the 11 seed Panthers, the 22 seed Leopards. 7 p.m. first pitch on that. You excited to get over there for that one tonight, Paulie? Should be fun. Last time we were at Pineview, we had a walk-off Raiden Hunt 2-run bomb.
Yes, I'm looking forward to being over there. Those 3 juniors that they have that are kind of the stars of next year have really announced themselves. 3 guys over 300, Raiden Hunt, Colton Johnson, and I just don't want to.
Cisneros, Parker Heath.
Yeah, those 3 juniors.
Porter Campbell.
I'm sorry. Yes, sorry to Porter there. That's the group that buoys them, offensively at times, and then they complement in those seniors that we saw last night or a couple nights ago on senior night. And it really does kind of make you think what Eric was talking about. Of all the teams that are playing in this preliminary round, not getting the bye, I think Pineview is the friskiest maybe. They might have a chance to upset some people. I mean, what we saw the other night, going toe-to-toe with Crimson, taking that 6-0 lead out of the gate, it shows their offense can play. And like you said, Tristan Sylvester, 2.69 ERA on the season. He can throw the ball. He can spin it. So can they get the supporting pitching? Can they get the other guys in the rotation to be able to pitch big games to keep them alive? Because I know Sylvester can. So I believe in that group to make a little bit of a dark horse run as well, kind of like what EG said.
Yeah, and then I'll be down. And guess who I've got joining me tonight on the broadcast?
Who's that?
Former Desert Hills coach Kevin Cave is going to join me in the broadcast booth tonight.
Cool.
We'll be over at Dixie for that game. It'll be the Flyers and the Murray Spartans, also at 7 o'clock. So we'll have a crew at Pineview, a crew at Dixie. We'll have updates on Cedar and Park City. We'll have updates on Hurricane up at Mountain View. and all that tonight. The other 3 teams are on byes, of course. So Snow Canyon, Desert Hills, and Crimson do not play this weekend. They don't play till next Thursday. So they get a little rest for the arms. And it's the rest versus rust story. I mean, 9 days between games for all of those Region 9-3 schools that got top 8 seeds and got byes. Warriors went 1, Thunder 2, defending state champ Mustangs 7. I was surprised the Mustangs slid from 5 down to 7 with just that last loss of the season. But it did put them on the other side of the bracket opposite of Snow Canyon. But it does put them on the same side of the bracket as Desert Hills.
That's right.
So it is what it is. Eventually, we get to bracket play. If those teams are all up there, you know you're going to have some Region 9 battles on the way to a potential state championship. The other thing, baseball-wise in town tonight, huge one for Fate and the Blazers. Coach Fate now, are a great friend of the program. Tarleton State. So Tarleton State and Utah Tech have the co-lead in this conference, in the final season of the WAC conference. Before in football and most sports, they go to the Big Sky. But in baseball and men's soccer, those 2 sports, they will be going to the Mountain West Conference. So that is it for the WAC. So this is a key series at home at the Bruce Hurst Field. All-time Utah Tech trails Tarleton State 4 wins to 6 losses. The scheduled first pitch game times tonight, 6:05, tomorrow, 2:05, and then Sunday at 11:05. Those are all games will be streamed on ESPN+. Probable starters for the Blazers tonight, it's Tyler Ray. Tomorrow, Dakota West. And, man, Dakota West has been 5-3, 4.65 ERA.
Yeah.
But lately, I feel like he's been a lot better than those numbers would indicate. He was the guy in Game 2 at Cal Baptist on the road that shut their bats down and got that win.
Yeah.
Around those 2 losses on the road last weekend where they went 1-2. And Dakota West was the pitcher that picked up the key win against Cal Bap. How big was that? You do not want to get swept by Cal Bap, even though it is on the road. So back home. Hopefully they got 2,500 fans. I think that's about capacity, but maybe plus the suites areas down the lower box areas. And they'll be coming up from Stephenville, Texas. And this is the WAC for one final season. And we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're right down to the big ones down the stretch here for seeding for the tournament to try to get to a regional, maybe beyond. Utah Tech, Coach Fate, go check them out. 3-game set. It's a big one against Tarleton State. 4 of their 31 games have went extra innings, so they've had to play some extra inning games this year, but none recently since they got into the conference play. They had those grand slams when they had that 8-game homestand earlier in the season.
Yeah. McDaniels, right? Had a grand slam. And
Petey Soto had one.
Petey Soto, yep.
And I think Cooper Smith was the other one. Kyle McDaniel, Petey Soto. So when they're at home last time, when they were the 8-game homestand, the long ball was in effect for the Blazers. So this is a fun team to watch. This is kind of exciting year. They're looking for win number 30 tonight on the season. So, 28-16 versus 29-16. So 2 teams with really good records. Tarleton State's 8-4 in the WAC. Okay, Utah Tech is 6-3, so that's why I say they're tied for the lead because they haven't played the same amount of games right now, but percentage-wise, they're squared up there. So it's gonna be fun. Huge series. Can't underestimate how big this would be if they could sweep Tarleton State. I feel like you sweep Tarleton State, you have the inside track again to win the conference championship, and down the stretch they go. You get 2 out of 3 against Tarleton State, you're still in a great position. The scary notion would be if you got swept or only won 1 of the 3.
Yeah.
that puts you a little bit behind the 8 ball where you now don't control your own destiny, so to speak, because we're getting down to crunch time at the end of the regular season. All right, we're getting down to crunch time at the end of the show from here inside the Findlay Hyundai Studios. We'll take one final break. When we come back, we'll get you all revved up for Game 6 tonight at the Delta Center. Knights Mammoth, and we'll get you ready for the day in sports with some other news and notes as well. Stay with us on The Drive. Hey, we're never sold out, baby. Welcome back, everybody, on a Feel Good Friday here to the Fan Sports Network, the only local sports show in town and the longest running sports show in town. Let's keep that going, baby. 20 2+ years. It'll be 23 years on the radio doing the show here coming up later this summer. And so enjoy waking up talking sports with you guys. And thank you. I know there's a lot of other options out there, so we do appreciate it when you spend some of your morning with us here on the Fan Sports Network. Quick show recap. We just did a little draft lottery wish list for Jazz fans. We had some fun with some Would You Rather. We kind of got rowdy about Aaron Rodgers and the situation with the Steelers. And now he's holding his team hostage, and Will Howard and obviously Drew Aller, who they just drafted, are the other quarterbacks there in Pittsburgh. Paul and I think we both agreed that Pittsburgh is not going to win a playoff game this year with this roster.
So, no. Maybe not even make the playoffs.
We did have some audio we were going to get to on that whole topic with the Herd and Colin Cowherd talking about tiers in the NFL and how he didn't even have the Steelers on his top 2 tiers, and he's like just a little more functional version of the Jets. It was a strong take. We didn't get into that. We did talk a lot about the high school baseball brackets that came out. Including with Eric Gould. And then that was kind of fun to have EG on the show because
he's great.
EG put a story. He's a sports writer for St. George News, for those of you that don't know who EG is. And he did a story on this Pavlonian is a horse that was, it's a Hurricane horse. And from a stable in Hurricane. And he'll be running for the Roses on Saturday at the Kentucky Derby.
Absolutely.
52-1 the odds.
Yeah.
Was that right, Tara?
Yes, that was right.
And what was the longest odds?
Intrepido was 55.
So it's right there as a long shot.
Yes, it is.
So, $10 bet would win you $520.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Or you could bet win place or show. I mean, I haven't been to a window at a horse race in years. I've forgotten how to, like a box trifecta.
Yes,
or
those are great places.
Exacta.
Your local horse track is great. There used to be one in West Virginia close to Morgantown. Charlestown Races and Slots, and we would go watch and they were the carriage horses with the little buggies on them. It was always a great time.
Oh my goodness.
The horses now Kentucky Derby a lot better level than that racing that I've seen. I would love to make it.
I really cannot argue with people saying it's the greatest 2 minutes in sports.
Yeah, it is. It's
the fastest 2 minutes.
Blink and you'll miss it.
One of these days, I would love to call a
2
horse.
minutes is a long blink, dude.
I would love to go up to Beaver to the George Marshall and call a horse race one day. That actually sounds really, really fun to me. Something I would love to do.
Yeah.
I feel like I can talk pretty fast and I could do it. I feel like I could nail it. My dream job was always to work at the Golf Channel, but I have to slow my type A personality way down for golf. It's a more the Woods in the bunker again.
I know you almost have to whisper.
Like a 40% chance he gets this up and down.
There you go.
But his name is Tiger Woods. Here he goes. He splashes the sand. And holy smokes, he holds it. The ball disappears into the cup. Woods has holed out from the bunker. Can you believe it? Okay, so I think I could do it. What's your dream announcing job, Paulie? If you could announce any one thing.
Wow. That is a good question. I'm
kind of weird when it comes to that because I think it would be fun. Like I listen to PRN or MRN, the Motor Racing Network.
Yeah.
I think it would be. Here comes Denny Hamlin into turn 3. Jimmy Johnson's on his tail. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s on the outside. I mean, that would be. I think it would be fun. And then they toss to the guy in the next corner, and we pick it up on the back stretch. And here
right? Here comes Chris Boucher.
It's kind of got a horse racing feel for 3 straight hours.
Yeah.
So that kind of intrigues me.
That's fun. Yeah.
I mean, the big ones is either the football, the basketball, the baseball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these other sports like golf and NASCAR, horse racing, I think would be incredible.
Would be cool.
That's right. It'd be fun
to broadcast.
Yeah.
I think I'd get bored with NASCAR though, like 3 hours of just
Yeah.
Whereas like
but if you're the pit
horse
road
racing
reporter,
or something, yeah, that's true.
And you're on the scanner and you're hearing
being
about all
in the pit and stuff is awesome.
Like if you're like a mechanic and you're just like talking about all that stuff that you love because you're a mechanic, it would be pretty. It'd be cool. It'd be cool. By the way, F1 is in Miami this weekend.
Nice.
Have you guys got hooked into F1 at all?
I like
Not really.
F1, yeah.
F1 in Miami. There's a lot of hype around this race. I'm seeing a ton of stories come out. I'm not a diehard F1 guy. I'm more of a NASCAR traditionalist. Folly,
Yeah.
I know you kind of your granddad was a huge
Yeah, he's a
NASCAR,
big
still
NASCAR
is
guy.
a huge NASCAR guy. Is he
Yeah.
into F1 too?
He's not. He's been to the Indy 500, and he said that he's just a stock car guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, I think the qualifying is tomorrow. I do love that walk. They do that what's the guy's name that does the he just there's Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, what's up? You look short today, and then he just keeps walking.
Yeah.
The pre-race walk,
Pre-race,
kind of
yeah.
like Michael Waltrip used to do in NASCAR. If some of you follow that, remember
Sure.
what he used to do? When he would just go down the line and talk to drivers. It's the 2026 Miami Grand Prix, and Formula One season resumes this weekend. So their first Grand Prix in Miami was back in 2022. It's about a 5.4 kilometer track, and the lap record ever in Miami was 1 minute and 29 seconds. So
Wow.
you got that this weekend as well. All right, back to the Knights and the Mammoth game for a second here. We just have about 5 minutes left on the show. X factors. I wanted to look at it from like a player prop perspective too, and like what are the books saying about this game? Do you see any value in like, anytime goal? You know, we talk about that in football with the anytime touchdown, but you can do that in hockey too with like an anytime goal tonight. Any lean on a guy that you guys feel confident is going to find the back of the net tonight?
I always go with Gunther.
Dylan Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther. You can usually count on him.
Yeah. Jack assists plus goals is
Yeah.
usually a bet, because if you had it like 2.5 assists plus goals, I mean, like in game
Points,
4, you had
yeah.
points. Yeah, that's always. What is the line on that? It's probably 2.5 though. It's probably a high number.
Jack 2+ assists is plus 260. 2+ points.
2+
All right.
points. Okay, so that you're getting the plus side of things.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
hate.
always like Dorofiev.
Goal
Scorpiev.
scorer, number one goal scorer for the Knights is Jack at plus 200.
Yeah.
Number one goal scorer for the Mammoth is Logan Cooley at plus 195.
And he hasn't scored since game 2.
So, yeah,
Yes,
so
it's been a while.
So you kind of feel like Cooley's due, don't you?
Kind of
Yeah.
feel the do theory
And they're
there.
at home tonight.
Yeah.
I think I like that more than the Jack.
I don't like Jack to score.
I like Jack points.
His only goal of the series is that one that was left right on the doorstep for him. So
Yeah.
I like
he's
the
been
two-
looking to create for other players in this series, and I would ride the hot hand. I would go with Dorofiev again. Plus 220. He had the first goal in game 4. He had 3 goals in game 4.
Should have had 4, honestly.
Should have had 4.
Yeah.
They're obviously trying to find him. He's finding the right spots.
Well, they've
He's
moved
got a
him.
missile of a shot.
They've moved him around on different lines, trying to free
Talked
him
to
up.
Jesse about that.
Yeah.
He actually was benched, moved to the 4th line, less minutes. The other guys were double shifting for him at one point, and now he's become one of the stars of the series. So I'm going to go Dorofiev to score plus 220. Maybe even the first goal score, plus 1,400 for Pavel Dorofiev. And then this stat was profound. In NHL history, there have been 29 instances of a team trailing in the third period in each of the 5 games in a playoff series. Of those 29 teams, 28 were behind in the series or had already lost the series after 5 games. The lone exception is this year's Golden Knights. So Mammoth cannot finish. That has been clear to me the last couple games. They can't finish. They had a game at home, overtime, 3-0 lead. They blow it, lose in overtime. Then last night, they let the empty net goal in, lose in overtime.
They got to finish tonight.
The
or there's no tomorrow.
28 other teams have been either eliminated or down in the series in this, and the Knights are up 3-2.
Do you think
this
that-
Mammoth team can't finish?
Do you think that's, sometimes we talk about a greasy one or just the puck luck or
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the Mammoth, to put it in context, have played bad, but
No.
but is this their inexperience? Is this just a
Yes.
lack of playoff? I mean, you do have a
Yes.
few players that have won Stanley Cups on this roster.
Yeah, Ian Cole, Sergachev, some guys, but it's not the leaders of the team. And that's what I was asking Nate Schmidt. How is the leadership in this room?
And he said to be determined.
To
kinda.
be determined.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have a firm guy saying, hey, our back's against the wall. We're going home after this game if we lose. We need to play a better all-around game, and we can't leave Vamelka out to dry so much.
Well, and Dylan Gunther has been the most prolific shooter in the playoffs. Do you realize that he leads all players with 55 shot attempts in the postseason so far. That
Yeah.
leads all NHL players in shots.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of the beat guys for Utah, and I was like, man, Gunther sets up on that in that Ovi spot, and he's lethal. And he's like, yeah,
Is there an over/under shots on Gunther tonight?
yeah, there is. There
Or is
should
it-
be
it's probably
one
pretty
for
high.
Gunther. Shots on goal is 4+ is minus 135.
Because he's averaging 5.2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shots on goal per game during the season was 3.2, but in the playoffs, he's firing. So 4 shots, minus 135. If you want to take him for 5 shots,
What was
plus
Marner?
165.
What's Marner shots tonight? 2.5, 3.
That would be sneaky.
He's
yeah.
been shooting but not scoring. Did
3+ shots for Marner plus 120.
Plus
so you get a
120.
little added bonus there.
do or die game, but it is on home ice tonight. Tara's going up to the game tonight. Paulie was in Vegas on Wednesday night. This has been exciting. People have been coming out of the woodwork. I've been getting a lot of texts from buddies like, who you like tonight? What are your thoughts on the game? In my text threads, I'm on like 4 or 5 different text threads, and everybody's sending pictures from games to me and stuff, and I'm kind of jelly. I haven't been to a game last night. I had a bunch of buddies down in Vegas as well as you, Paulie. So my phone was hopping during that game, and I was driving home from Salt Lake on Wednesday night, listening and watching as I drove, so I really couldn't watch and communicate very well.
Yeah.
Except for when I pulled over and got some food and an energy drink. But other than that, I was locked into that one, and I will be locked in tonight. I'll be watching. I'll have one eye on this and one eye on the baseball game tonight. As we bring you a doubleheader of high school playoff baseball tonight here on the Fan Sports Network, presented by the Boulevard. Paulie and Caden going to be over anchoring Pineview and East. I'll be over at Dixie with Coach Cave doing the Flyers and the Spartans. All right. Good show today. Good week, everybody. We'll do it again. See you all Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your sports.